What's good, Jai? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jarrell, and today the video is going to be about focusing on the grind. I feel like no matter what you're going through, no matter what circumstance or situation you're in, as long as you got a plan and a goal, you got to focus on the grind and what you got to do to get there. You feel me? If you're still in high school and a goal that you got is moving out your mama crib, whoever you staying with, I've been in that situation. So when I'm in that situation, or when I was in that situation at 17, 18, and I'm planning on moving out, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? First, I gotta find income. I gotta figure out what I need to do to be able to sustain and live on my own. Something that's gonna be able to allow me to pay my bills and different things like that. So in the meantime, what did I do while I was in high school? In high school, I used to get paid to go play for different artists and at different gigs or for different churches and different things, playing the drums. And I would use that money and invest in flipping shoes. So I would flip shoes by using my mom's eBay account and post my shoes that I was flipping on there. And I would sell those shoes, you feel me? So that's how it all started. That's how that whole mindset of like being an entrepreneur started, honestly. Making my own money. I didn't really do too much to make money outside of those two things. So I was making pretty decent money for the things that I wanted. Things that I wanted was just more shoes. So I was a sneakerhead, so I would buy more shoes, and once I got tired of the shoes, I'd sell them, type of thing. So I did that for a good minute in high school. It wasn't until I started cutting my own hair when people started recognizing and asking me who was cutting my hair. Then my teammates started asking me, okay, like, can you cut my hair in the locker room? When I had my leg surgery, they was asking. We was going to state championships, different things like this. So when we was traveling, they'd be like, hey bro, if you bring your clippers, I'll pay you to cut my hair. So boom, I'm cutting hair in hotels late at night, early in the morning, you feel me, making $5 to $10 each person. So it's like I had that built up in me already, but I knew the goal that I wanted. I knew I wanted to move out. Like I said in my last video, I bought a futon to go in my bedroom and got rid of my bed. That way I didn't get comfortable staying in my mama's house, because I knew the goal that I wanted. You feel me? I knew I wanted to move out. I knew I wanted to have my own piece. It was 6 people in the household, so it's a 6 people household with 3 bedrooms and a 2 bathroom. You feel me? So it's a little crowded. I'm getting into it with my pops about not going to church, because the church that we going to, I didn't really feel like I was gaining from it. So I'm starting to make decisions on my own, or I'm trying to be in a place where I'm making decisions on my own, but it's causing friction. So I'm like, okay, what do I gotta do? I gotta get up out of here. And me and my pop still cool to this day. My mom, we all still cool, you feel me? But it was just, I was in a circumstance that I didn't agree with certain things, with me trying to make my own decisions. It's not until you move out and do things on your own and show people that you can live on your own and do things on your own they'll start to respect the decisions that you make, or they'll be okay with you making certain decisions on your own, because you'll start to realize that you have a track record of making better decisions or making good decisions for yourself. So that was my focus out of high school. Boom, I get out of high school. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because I wanted to play football, but it didn't work out like that. So I'm getting my life together, but I don't know exactly where to go. It wasn't until I had a plan and a path that I had to see for myself, to where I could apply myself to do the things that I need to do to get to that point. So I decided to go in barber school. It took me 1 year and 2 months to finish barber school. That whole 1 year and 2 months, I ended up getting hired, and I delivered and closed every night. So if y'all been tapped in, y'all already know the story. If y'all been tapped in, y'all already know certain things that went on while I was working and stuff like that. So boom, I'm working at Domino's, you feel me? My daily schedule is wake up, go do my cardio at the gym, leave the gym, go to barber school, get out at 5 p.m., get back, go straight to work at Domino's, get off at 1 a.m. And I'm doing that every day. And I mean every day, 5 to 6 days out the week. I might have a Sunday off. That's what my daily life looked like. I didn't go to no parties. I went to 2 parties when I first started barber school. After that, I stopped going. I used to hang out with my friends and we used to smoke. We used to go to my partner crib and get high. Basically all them type of things that everybody do, you feel me? And that was the daily thing before I got into barber school. This was before I got my mindset right, before I got on the right track. You feel me? I was always somebody that, made good decisions, but that was just a period of where I had more freedom. So I was just doing stuff to do it, you feel me? And I feel like you're going to always have that point in your life when you making certain transitions, you feel me? You might be making decisions and doing certain things just to do them and not really being smart with certain things. So I was in that time period, you feel me, dealing with certain females I shouldn't have been dealing with, all that type of stuff going on. But it wasn't until I got in barber school where everything started to get on track. And I say all that to say, when you focusing on the grind, you're going to have certain things that try to pull you off course. You're going to have certain people that try to pull you off course. But you got to be so locked in on whatever goal or achievement that you're trying to do. Like I said, you're trying to move out your parents' crib, you got to be locked in on that. You're trying to lose body fat, you got to be locked in on your diet. You feel me? Trying to make more money, you're trying to up your skills, you got to be locked in on learning and getting around the right people. You got to be locked in on getting the knowledge that you need and applying those things too. So certain things start to come around and you got to figure out what's a distraction and what's being valuable to you. Sometimes you got to figure out who's a distraction and who's being valuable to you. So I'm going through those things, you feel me? And the whole time I'm actually focused on the grind, but it wasn't until I really had this situation with a female that made me lock in because I didn't want to deal with that certain type of female. And I'm not saying that she was a bad person, but it was because I didn't see that for my life. I recognized it really didn't have no purpose. It really didn't have no meaning. It wasn't going nowhere. You feel me? So sometimes you gotta cut off some dead weight. Sometimes you gotta cut off certain habits and decisions that you're making. And that was my whole reason behind that. But it was also a situation, I had bought a lemon. I bought a lemon car. And that whole situation was they was trying to list it as a repo under me and different things like that. And I'm going through both situations at the same time. I see me making bad decisions. I see me making poor decisions that's causing me to stress, causing anxiety, causing me to be in depression and different things like that. So it's like a light switch or a switch flipped or whatever you want to call it, you feel me? However you want to say it. But it flipped and it's like, I got to do better. I got to make better decisions. I got to remove myself from certain things and certain people. So it wasn't until that happened to when I started making better decisions, to when I started focusing on the grind, you feel me? I stopped going to parties. I stopped kicking it around the people that I was kicking it with. And I stopped being around the same females that I was around, you feel me? And entertaining everybody, giving my energy to everybody, giving my access to everybody. And I really just locked in on me. And it wasn't until I did that to when I started to see the fruit from the things that I was applying to my life. I started watching better podcasts. I started watching Steph is Cold. I started watching Jerry Flowers. I started watching Nice and Neat podcasts. People that had mindsets that I wanted to be into where I gained more knowledge, whether it was spiritually, physically, financially, different things like that. So I'm at work. I got my headphones in. I'm delivering sometimes on the road, but when you come in, you get on the oven or you go wash dishes. So I'm washing dishes in the back until we closing and different things or until my next delivery come up. But I got my headphones in. I'm not too much talking to nobody around me. I got my headphones in, listening to podcasts. I got my headphones in, figuring out what I need to do to increase my finances. I got my headphones in, listening to certain things, talking about being better in a spiritual place, you feel me? Building a relationship with God. So in the midst of all that, sometimes it takes you going through certain things and certain trials or even making poor decisions until you finally get tired of hitting your head and bumping your head and making the same decisions and getting the same outcomes. Sometimes it takes that for you to lock in and get on the right path. And when you get on this path, you can't be so caught up in focusing on the goal that you forget your progress. Why do y'all think when people work out and they start working out, they track their progress, they start posting their body? You feel me? They post their transformations just because you get so locked in on the goal that you forget the progress that you've made. You forget where you came from. You forget how you started from the bottom. You feel me? And you got your eyes so caught up on the goal that you don't recognize the progress that you have made. You don't recognize the little steps, the little things, the little details that you make on the daily that matter. Those are the things that help you get to that future goal. Those are the things that help you achieve that. You feel me? So it's like, even today I was thinking about at the gym while I'm working out, it's like I'm watching certain videos that I seen people post. I'm like, dang, that was 3 weeks ago. And it's like you get so caught up in the goal or get so caught up in whatever it is that you're doing that everything seems so quick. It's like you lose track of time. And as a man, one of the two important things that you got to focus on controlling or blocking out, I would say, is your time and your money. You feel me? You gotta see how you spending your time. You gotta see how you spending your money. Those are the two most important things that you probably would care about as a man, outside of like your family and responsibilities and stuff. You don't want to trick off your time. You don't want to trick off your money. There's gonna come a time when rainy days gonna come. It's gonna come a time when you're gonna need some money that you should have been sitting on. It's gonna come a time when you gotta help some of the people out around you, you feel me? I mean, I like being able to help people in situations because it showed me that I'm doing the right thing. It showed me that I got the right heart. You feel me? Because I don't mind doing it. I don't mind helping the people that's close to me. I don't mind helping people become better. Helping people heal, helping people change their mindset, you feel me? But I have to be the example for myself. I have to be the example first. Sometimes you gotta model it to see who's gonna catch on. You feel me? And those are the people that you want to keep around, people that can help you stay focused, people that keep you grounded, people that motivate you. Look around, see who in your circle. See who help you stay focused. See who help you stay at the bottom, you feel me? And sometimes that person can be yourself. Because at the end of the day, once you recognize these things and you get an understanding of what's going on around you, you get an understanding of the habits and the people that you allow in your space, you recognize that a lot of times certain things that you go through is because of the decisions and the access that you give. So at the end of the day, you can't blame other people for your lack of boundaries. You can't blame other people for your lack of awareness, your lack of understanding. So every day it's got to be focused on the grind. Every day it's got to be, let me wake up, let me go to the gym, let me make sure my money right, let me make sure I'm working my 8 hours, let me make sure I'm working my 12 hours. If you got to work a 24, let me work my 24. But I know what's coming with me working with those hours. I know what's coming with me working overtime. I know what's coming with me applying myself. I know what's coming with me doing 20 minutes of cardio. You're doing your cardio, you don't gotta sprint all the time. Do what you can, you feel me? If you gotta walk, walk. If you can run, run. But do what you can do. Because it's no good in complaining and saying that you want a different outcome, but you're not putting in the work, you're not focused on grinding. You're focused in the wrong space. So focus on getting stuff done. Focus on stop talking. Focus on not talking and focus on doing. Don't be that person. Figure out what you want to do. Sometimes your mind might be everywhere, and it's because you got certain ideas, because you're ambitious, because you want to make certain decisions. You want to try different things. Try everything, you feel me? But make sure you got a plan with it. Make sure you got a goal. Make sure you got something that's going to sustain what you got going on. If you got a business that you want to do, don't be dumb and quit your job right off the rip. You feel me? Work that job. Sometimes you got to go off faith. I went off faith. I'll be honest. I didn't probably do it the smartest way, but I knew I just went off faith, honestly. I ain't even going to say it was on me. God looked out. But sometimes you got to take a risk. But with you taking that risk, it puts you in that fire. It put that light on you, you feel me? And sometimes if you that type of person, when you get that light put on you, when you on those biggest stages, you start to make better decisions. Somehow you're still poised. You ever seen a good quarterback in a game and it don't seem like nothing bother him? But it's because of the daily things that he do. He practices 2-minute drills. You feel me? You know you gotta draw the ball 80 yards to get in field goal range. You know you gotta draw the ball down the field to put yourself in a position to score. So I'm practicing 2-minute drills every day. I'm practicing hitting my quick slants. I'm practicing hitting my deep ball. You feel me? I'm practicing making the right reads. But it's the daily things that matter. So focus on the grind. Focus on what you got going on. Focus on what's around you. Focus on who around you. You feel me? And sometimes you gotta remove your access, but sometimes you gotta check yourself. Because until you check yourself, you're gonna continue to make the same decisions. You're gonna continue to keep the same habits. You're gonna continue to keep the same people around you. And until you bump your head sometimes, you're not gonna get on the right path. But you gotta focus on the grind and whatever you got going on, whatever goal that you wanna achieve. And that's where your focus gotta be.